Another lovely morning. That's okay. I was born in the 90s. I've seen this more times than I've woken up to the intro of George Lopez. I've done this before. Feels like recently. How did I do that? I can't remember because TikTok has turned my brain into an old peach since then. It's all bruised up and moldy looking. It had something to do with cute little anthropomorphic woodland creatures. Nope. That's right, Animal Crossing. I'll just go ahead and pop that in the Switch and we'll breeze right... Switch? I don't want to play Switch. Yuck! This thing is so old and disgusting by now. I just need something better. Something new. I just need to get the cozy game fix to get through this. Yeah, that'll work. Mika and the Witch's Mountain. A game I heard about and was very interested in. It checked all the boxes. Short, 3-hour game. Can easily bust through it and rack up a bunch of achievements. Anime. No, not that one. And an original twist on a great old idea. Unfortunately, games just keep coming out. And I don't have time to finish them because I'm making videos like this one. And Game Pass just keeps adding certified bangers. Game Pass is the best and the worst thing to ever happen to me. Don't drop a sick DMC-like Ninja Gaiden game while I'm still finishing Indiana Jones. You already have my money, just slow down. But then, much to my surprise, somebody at Cheebig thought the garbage I make here was worthy of a review code. I mean, they clearly didn't look at any of the stuff I make here, they just blindly stamped the approval button. Because why would they approve any of this? But if you've done any of your research and actually looked at this channel unlike they did, then you probably know that I am not a fan of anime, because I've made that no secret. Not even in the slightest bit do I care about anime. Which may lead you to the question of, why was I even interested in Mika and the Witch's Mountain? Well, for some reason, the occasional thing just bypasses that whole no anime thing I have. There's no rhyme or reason to it, I'm just able to look past the giant eyeballs and the harshly drawn lines and the high-pitched voices. But why did this one get that pass? Well, another thing about me is that I am an artsy game freak. Anything that tries something new or puts a good spin on an old classic, or is in any way associated with Annapurna Interactive, that's my bag. Mika just had something special looking about it. The concept is so simple. You deliver packages with a loose narrative that means absolutely nothing, and has pretty much no stakes at all, but is interesting enough to actually keep you engaged, which was entirely unnecessary because they had me at delivering packages.
It's universally renowned, one of the all-time classic video games. And it's all about delivering newspapers.
Paperboy is like one of the all-time greats of the NES. It has potential to be number one, but nothing's gonna topple the great that is Dr. Mario. We're talking Dr. Mario. Almost every single thing I saw talking about this game had to bring up a comparison to Kiki's Delivery Service, and I get that. It is about a witch delivering packages on a broom, but not only is it that, it is also an incredible mail carrier game. And I don't care for Kiki or Palmer, so keep your tea out of my lemonade. You're getting a Paperboy comparison on this channel. But even if the gameplay is what drew me in, the narrative did keep me fairly engaged. You follow the character of Miko, a witch's apprentice who is pushed off the top of a mountain to prove that she has the ability to fly back to the top. But when she lands, she snaps her broom in half and has to get a job as a delivery worker to earn enough money to fix and upgrade her broom so she can get back up to the top of the mountain. Like I said before, this story has zero stakes. It doesn't matter at all if she gets back to the top of the mountain. Do you really care all that much? But there's actually a different side of the Mika story that kept me much more engaged. And that is the stories of the people that you're delivering to. Which I find weird that all these people are so eager to tell their delivery person about their lives. Because when the UPS man comes to my door, I hide. Look, you can see through this window onto the porch, exactly where they're at. But I duck my head behind the couch anyway, so he can't tell that I'm there watching How I Met Your Mother for the 12th time. And I stay there for more than enough time to make sure he's gone. But it does remind me of another indie game that I loved a lot, and that is Coffee Talk. A game where you're in a weird little magical world that doesn't make any sense and it doesn't explain why it is the way it is. There's just these magical creatures mixed in with humans and you make coffee and tea for them. And while you're doing that, they tell you about their lives. You play it, you engage in these people's stories, and then you never think about it again as soon as you're done. And just like the story, the gameplay is also very simple. Now, it's not Paperboy simple. It's hard to beat Paperboy simple. It's like 4 directions and 2 buttons. But it's simple in the way that you can just pick it up and pretty much master it in no time. You get a full island to freely run around, you can jump and platform around, and with the simple tap of a button, you're switched to your broom and you can fly around.
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
Every time you touch the ground or a gust of wind, you are able to boost yourself up again higher in the air, which also ties back into your broom upgrades. The more you play through the game, the better broom you'll get. And with each broom comes the ability to boost yourself up higher and also stay up high for longer. And unlike the story, the gameplay actually does have some stakes to it. When you're given a package, it will have a number of hearts or an indicator of if it can get wet or not. If you bang the package around too much or run through the water and get it too wet, then your package will have to reset and you'll have to take the whole delivery from the beginning. But if you only get it a little wet or you only bang it up just a little bit, you can still deliver it, just in kind of an obliterated state, which is actually very accurate to how UPS delivers my packages at home. And even though I did say that you could master this game fairly quickly, you're still just going to end up banging into stuff and losing a package here and there. Even though I've never delivered a package under the highest rating, I have banged them up and lost them multiple times. Falling in style really gets you here when you think you have enough height to get over something, and then you realize you have just enough height to barely get your broom over it, but your package hanging under the broom doesn't quite make it. And you end up slamming that thing right off the bottom of your broom. And that's kind of what I adore about Mika and the Witch's Mountain. It's cozy, it's calm. It put me to sleep a few times the first night, but that's totally not on the gameplay. That's a symptom of having a toddler. I just do that sometimes. It even happened during Astrobot and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So let's not put any of that on Mika. What is a bad thing, though, is that I suffered crash after crash while playing this game. I was crashing on almost like an every half-hour basis. It was happening so often that I took notes on how often the game was crashing for me. Within my first hour and a half of gameplay, this game crashed 5 times for me. Luckily, auto-saving is very frequent in this game. And in the world of solid-state drives, it only takes a second to get right back into the game. But it is just a little bit disappointing that this game is so poorly optimized. But Chibig did send me over a couple of codes, so I was able to try it on PlayStation, because this whole time I have been playing on Xbox Series X. And my experience on PlayStation was actually completely different. I had 0 crashes the entire time I was playing on PlayStation. Why was it this way? I have no idea, but the Xbox version could definitely use some work. So if you have the option to choose like I did, I would suggest going with the PlayStation version over the Xbox version. Regardless of which console you choose, I don't think this is necessarily a deal breaker either way, but it is rather obnoxious having to restart the game this frequently. But I also don't expect like the greatest quality from a Kickstarter game, even if it did absolutely destroy its Kickstarter numbers. But I think we can all agree that something made by a development team this small is much less egregious than a game like God of War or Sifu even doing this. It does suck, but I'm not going to slam a small dev team for not being 100% perfect. When the game is running, it runs flawlessly. It just crashes at random. And I'm not just being nice to them because they gave me this game for free. Shortly after I received this code, I received another code for a game, and I played that game at a laundromat for about an hour and a half, and it did not speak to me in the way that I felt that I needed to make a video about it. If Chibig never gives me another code again because I said their game crashes, it's not the end of the world to me. But I do genuinely really enjoy this game. It really did speak to me. It filled that cozy game void I've been looking to fill for years. Sadly, it doesn't fill it for very long, because this is not the kind of game that you can get 1,000,001 hours out of, like an Animal Crossing or a Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I think people seem to like that one a lot. I don't know. Ask my wife. I don't have time for it. Give me a break. I got like 7 other games to play, and Game Pass will not quit adding bangers. But for the short few hours it does last, it will keep you engaged with its short little stories and its occasional change up in gameplay, like when you're putting out fires with a sponge, or catching fish with a bucket in between deliveries. And sometimes it'll even just kind of make you giggle a little bit, like when you think that a character has a beard for a solid 3 minutes and then the camera angle changes and you realize it's just the anime art style. And you know what? I think Mika and the Witch's Mountain cured me on my cozy game fix. I think everything's gonna be okay. 3 hours down, I think I'm cured. I think we're good. I'm gonna need a bigger game. Hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, as always. I know this one was a little bit shorter than the last few I've done, but I don't think every video necessarily needs to be hours long. Short game makes a short video. But if you're dying for so much more of me, well then I've got great news for you. Between old videos and stream archives, I've got about 100 things for you to watch. Days worth of content. Including a new stream every single Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time. I recently made the move from Thursdays to Fridays. I think that makes it a little more accessible for people. And it makes it so I can stay up a little later and do a little more on these streams. So I hope to see you at those. If that's not your thing, just keep watching these videos. I'll try to make them a little more quickly. And if you forget what time that's at and you just kind of want your phone to tell you when it is, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, maybe turn on that little bell, and then you'll get a little ding and it'll say, hey, this guy's live. And also, if you want, leave a little comment about, if you're interested in Mika or not. You don't have to. Or if you know about Mika, maybe you know about one of the other games in the multiverse this is actually connected to, because I didn't bring that up at all. This is like a whole universe of games. This is the only one I know about, so I didn't really bring it up. But maybe you know about them. Let me know. Tell me about it in a comment. Or don't. That's fine. Okay, that's all I got. Bye.